What's up, y'all? Mr. Earn Your Stripe here with a special edition of another episode. Earn Your Stripe, right? I can't even slam this hat because I got food right here, but we earning it today. Earning it today. Oh. But yeah. Hey, listen, special episode. I told y'all, I promised y'all I had something for y'all, and I do. Today we doing a mock draft. Well, I kind of already did it. My wife, she fixed some fried chicken with some potato soup. Anyway. What you doing? Okay, go sit down. And it was delicious. Anyway, I did a mock draft. All right. So that's basically, obviously, I don't know how it's obviously gonna go because the season hasn't ended. So nobody's really gonna know. So it's a mock draft depending on where we are now. All right. So where we are now, as of now, we get the 9th overall pick, the 41st, 73rd, 109th, and 189th, which is crazy. Now, I have, with my 9th pick, drafted, who was available, Caleb Downs, the safety from Ohio State. Dog. He needs to be on this roster. Listen, I've already put on X. If you follow me on X, Buddha_30, BOODA_30, Buddha30 on X. Go ahead, y'all follow me over there. I already put on there that if Caleb Downs is available, you have to snatch him right off the board. So the thing about what's going on right now is, if you ask me, my bad, y'all, I got a lot of stuff on my desk. We went shopping today. And I don't know if y'all can tell from the Kroger bags on the table. We went shopping today because we were going to be snowed in. If it's snowing in Ohio, first of all, let me get to this real quick before I continue. If you're in Ohio, I feel sorry for you, and I hope you're okay. All right. If you made it home safely from work, or if you had to go to work, we praying for you. And may God be with you. And with that, let's get back to the mock draft. Right. Okay, so with the 9th pick, we got Caleb Downs. I went with a safety. Geno Stone has to go. I keep telling y'all that he is on his roster, and it is malpractice. If you don't have to take my word for it. I keep telling y'all, I'm just a guy who sits in front of the computer and who loves football, right? I couldn't read you X's and O's and all of that stuff like that right there. But I can tell you I love this team. And that's just the end of that. And Geno Stone deserves no spot on this roster. And it's mind-boggling every time I see him out there. You have other options. Honestly, if we lose, and I don't think we will, but if we lose to the Ravens this week, I don't want to see Geno Stone hit the field again. First of all, you can't bring him back. You're not going to bring him back. Y'all already shortened his contract, and he took a pay cut to stay with the team. So you're not going to bring him back. So there's no point of having Geno Stone out there anymore. It's time to start evaluating the safeties that you do have in the building so you can figure out which ones to keep. Right? So, you can't. It's time to start evaluating. It is time to start evaluating. Right. All right. With my 2nd pick, I went with Cassius Howell, the edge from Texas A&M. All right. I don't have to tell you that the Caleb Downs pick was the A+, but the Cassius Howell pick was also an A+. Listen, Trey Hendrickson may have played his last snap against the Jets, which is unfortunate. They were already hesitant to bring him back because he was getting up there in age. You know, he's in his 30s. He's getting up there in the 30s. Um, they didn't want to pay for his level of production, which I don't understand that. I guess what the Bengals is just all about how old you are. It doesn't matter if you're still doing good or not. So, yeah, I went with an edge. So if you don't bring back Trey Hendrickson, you still have, and he's developmental. Still, I don't know how you don't go. I don't understand. Like, this is how I envision the draft going. Right, you draft the safety because you desperately need one, and then immediately after you have to go edge because you have to be able to put pressure on the quarterback, which you haven't been able to do. Unfortunately, I'm bringing and I said unfortunately, I'm bringing back Joseph Osai. I may bring back Miles Murphy. This is me. I may bring back Miles Murphy. TJ Slayton, maybe if it's at a good price. He hasn't been horrible, but when you get the level of production you got from Larry Ogunjobi, is that or is it Cedric Ogbuehi? What am I thinking about? The one that the Steelers picked up after we dropped him for BJ Hill. Anyway, you're missing a level of that and a DJ. I want to say DJ Turner. It's not his name. Y'all know DJ. I just seen that boy. Hold on. I do not like giving y'all all information. What is that boy name? DJ Reader. God, I can't remember his name. Yep. So when you're missing, and you haven't had that level of production, DJ Reader is what I'm talking about. You haven't had that level of production and I don't know how long, and you're missing it. So I'll bring back. I'm cutting BJ Hill immediately. He has to go. I'm bringing back Slayton, and if I have to, I'll go into free agency to go and get another guy. I don't know who that is yet, and I'll look that up. But BJ Hill is out of here. And if you're planning on keeping him, he's gonna have to do a pay cut and be a roster guy, or locker room guy, I should say. And he's going to the bottom of the roster. So Cassius Howell at my edge, A+, right? After that, I went into the trenches again, and I got Darnell Jackson Jr. from Florida State. Florida State produces some good defensive linemen, especially interior, and those boys are big too. Oh, shoot. Hey, but I'm just saying, yes. So I got a B+ for that. I don't know, maybe he won't be as good in the NFL because he didn't have. I don't know. Let's look him up right quick. See his production. Darnell Jackson Jr. Darnell Jackson Jr. There you go. Listen, Darnell Jackson Jr. is 6'5", 337 pounds. Do you understand me? Look at his stats. In 2025, he had 11 solo tackles and 1 sack. That's not a lot of production, but when you got a guy as big as him up front, you're going to be a hard team to run on. And that's what I was basically going for, pairing him up with like Slayton and then having him just plugging up the middle, feeding him to, Shamar Stewart and Cassius Howell, stuff like that. All right, that was my third pick. Darnell Jackson Jr. was my third pick, B+. After that, I have to tell you guys right now. Um, yes, we moved. Yes, we moved Dax Hill from safety to corner, but I think he needs to go back to safety. Right. So I moved Dax Hill back to safety, and I pick up another corner. Now, I really don't like the fact of putting rookies out on the field to be, a piece that you lean on, especially when we're talking about you have a specific window with Jamar, T, and Higgins, and you've already wasted essentially 2 of those years. One being the year before you had to actually pay Joe Burrow, and then now Joe Burrow is 2 years into his contract. It might be 3, and now you're paying T and Jamar their money. So I mean, if the front office was moving like it's supposed to be moving, we wouldn't even really be having these problems. But they sat back on their heels and they let just bad stuff happen. The inactivity in the offseason, especially specifically pertaining with the defense, all of the problems that flooded our offseason with, questions about when T and Jamar was going to get paid and how much each one was going to get paid. Then you finally pay them, and because of when you pay them, now you have to dish out another additional 11 million. If you're going to be a team who's cheap or who isn't into giving guys contracts, you can't be missing opportunities to pay the guys you're going to have to pay, and then end up dishing out even more money because of how you do how you practice business. Your business practices are just outdated. It's time for the Bengals to update their business practices. I'm just saying. And yes, someone like Joe Burrow has come along and made them do certain things a different way, but it hasn't changed completely, and it's nowhere near at the level of what the NFL is doing, how the NFL is running now, right? Now, do me a favor, go ahead and slap that like button, hit that subscribe button. It don't take nothing but a few seconds. All right. Let me see. Oh, we back. Baby J. My bad, y'all. Give me a second. I'm still looking at this stuff. Okay, so what is this? Number 4. With pick number 4 available from Ohio State, Davison Ignoson. I don't know who that is, to be honest. But we about to look them up. And the reason I said that is because we needed a corner, which I was actually trying to get to. Yes, I move Dax Hill to safety, probably like a full safety or the strong safety. I don't know, but he's going back to safety, and we drafted a corner, Igbinosun. How do you spell this boy's name? Okay, that's Davison. That is just... I hate that what's this called has all these different controls that you don't normally see. $23 solo tackles, 2 interceptions, and this is 6 pass deflections. That was just this year. Oh, I hope he's actually available. This would be this mock draft I did is amazing right now. I ain't gonna lie. It's amazing. Yo, comment down below if you hate the way sanitized wipes smell. I hate the way they smell. Just do. Okay. Man, you so. It's not. Okay, whatever. They're doing so much stuff on these computers now. I'm sitting here looking up words. Okay. And then I went at the 6th pick. Wait, that's not 6, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, the 5th pick. Sorry. And I actually traded away one of the picks. What is it?
Dad.
Huh?
Can you bake some Christmas cookies?
Yeah, I'll do it when I'm done.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. Go sit down, Mama. Now. Go sit down.
There's a hole right here.
Now. I try to do this when they're asleep, but it's the weekend. What can you do? Kitty kids. Anyway, where was we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so with the 5th pick, we went with Katron Allen. Katron Allen. Don't know his level of production, but he was a pretty high draft prospect. $210 carries, 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns. Oh, God, I'm a dog. I keep telling y'all I'm a dog, man. I know good players when I see them. I know good players when I see them. So, Katron Allen. And then finally, I got cornerback Charles Demings. Obviously, he's just a depth piece. But my first 5 are probably are starting caliber. So Caleb Downs, Cassius Howell, Darnell Jackson Jr., Davison Igbenogson, and Katron Allen. All starting quality. Now, will the Bengals actually do this? Probably not. They probably end up going with Andy Dalton if he's available in this draft. Because they like his character or something. I don't know. I didn't get to address this when it happened, so we're gonna go ahead and address it. The Bengals got rid of just to be racist. I can't remember the boy names. I feel like it's so gone. It's so many players to remember. Jermaine Burton. The Bengals released Jermaine Burton, essentially wasting a 3rd round draft pick. Now, what's originally thought is that, he was late for meetings, falling asleep during, film study and things of that nature. But you picked him, Zach Taylor. You knew he had these kinds of problems when you first got him. So essentially, you just wasted a third round pick on a guy you knew you were going to have problems with. Now, let me say this, because I don't want people to get things misconstrued. Yes, Jermaine Burton should have been doing the right things, right? And I wish someone had gotten his ear about the opportunity he had to be in the league. I don't think anyone's going to pick Jermaine Burton up off of waivers because of all that surrounds him at this moment. But with the Bengals drafting him at the third pick and him being as good as he was, you should have put him on the field a whole lot more. I don't care what kind of character issues he was having, right? When he's not in college anymore, Zach Taylor, he's a grown man. He make those decisions. Sorry. So with that being said, he should have seen the field a whole lot more. Maybe him seeing the field more would have motivated him to, try to do better and be where he was supposed to be. But you're treating dude like he's some type of effing kid, and you're losing. So you're a loser, Zach Taylor. He don't want to listen to you. You can't even get your own team to win a game. You can't coach. And a lot of this stuff is easier said than done. Like I said, I'm gonna maintain I'm just the guy who sits in front of the computer. Yeah, I'll tell you this. I can't be a bad truck driver, right? If I'm a bad truck driver, I'm slamming into stuff constantly. Accident after accident, missing paperwork and all the other those things. You know what happens to me? I get fired eventually. But I feel like the front office doesn't know what they're doing, and they're just okay with Zach going out there at 4-9 in the season. And obviously he can't coach situationally. He can call plays. I dare he put the playbook down though and focus on managing the game. You don't need to be an expert offensive head coach when you have the likes of Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and not to a lesser degree, but Chase Brown too. You don't need to be an offensive guru when you have these guys, because you have these guys. So it's not saying a lot saying that he can call plays, especially when we don't know if he's getting bailed out on a play from a check Jamar Chase made or a check Joe Burrow made. You know what I'm saying? Jamar Chase happened to call his own plays. What game was that? Oh my God. He should be fired then. Listen, I am over the Zach Taylor experience. I keep telling y'all that till I die. As long as he's there, I'm over the Zach Taylor experience. I'm just dead serious. The defense has looked better. Joseph Osai, Miles Murphy, and I don't want to talk about the defense honestly, because still, like I told y'all in the previous episode, they're not going to get a stop when it matters. We needed one stop. The defense have been playing well all game. Yeah, football is defined and played in these moments, and football is about momentum, right? Joe Burrow threw the pick. Okay, this is his second game back. One was on a blitz pickup read where the cornerback just jumped the route. The other one was on a pass deflection. So I put the first one on Joe Burrow. Like, that's on you, Joe Burrow. You can't try to throw that ball. Just drop. That's one thing I'll follow him for. He just doesn't know when to drop. Bro, just drop, live for the next play, right? But having to always make something happen because he doesn't believe in the defense, let's face it, and rightfully so. And then when he comes back, he throws that pass he tries to throw to Chase on a hitch, gets batted. But Zach Taylor, you call a run right there and tell Joe Burrow, don't check out of this. We're running the ball. Zach Taylor, you're getting away from the running back, Samaje Perine, who had been killing them all game because Chase Brown doesn't have any cutback lanes. I don't know. But that's why I did the mock draft. Right? Yeah. My next point. If we do end up firing Zach Taylor, which I don't think they will, if they're firing Zach Taylor, it won't be till his contract ends next year. I'm gonna reserve the right to retain how I feel about Zach Taylor because of this this season and previous seasons. Period. I don't care. The Zach Taylor experience is over for me. If they end up getting rid of Zach Taylor, and maybe they go with Brady or one of those guys. Everybody's been talking about John Gruden, but I don't think he's gonna come back. If they end up going with a defensive head coach, do you think that would affect the offense in any way? The reason I say that is because, I mean, like I just said, we still got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe Burrow at the helm. And the offensive line is finally looking fixed. And we have a good offensive line coach who, Scott Peters is doing his thing with those guys right now. A rookie right now is looking like one of the better interior offensive linemen in the league, and Dylan Fairchild. So, maybe it has to do with Scott Peters. Maybe it has to do with Dylan Fairchild's background, in wrestling. Who knows? But I will say this: before Reisner came back, Jalen Rivers was playing, super good. To me, you could have kept him there and basically not noticed the difference. But I don't know. So that's the question of the day. That is the question of the day. Do you think if the Bengals were to fire Zach Taylor and went with a more defensive head coach, would that pull the offense back some? Right? Or would the offense continue to flourish? So that's the question. Do me a favor, guys. Go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on X, Buddha_30, BOODA_30. On Instagram at Earn Your Stripe, EARN_YOUR_STRIPE. With that, I'm gonna leave you guys, man. I want to thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. This was a special episode, and I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Please go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Mr. Earn Your Stripe is out. Boom!